Today I'm at Thruxton, a race circuit in the south of England, about 30 miles north of Southampton. It's an ex-RAF base, although it still has an active runway. In fact, the circuit goes around the runway and you can see planes taking off and landing as you're driving. It's 3.8 kilometres long, which is about 2.3 miles, and has 12 bends. Although most of the circuit feels like a bend. You're either very fast leaning this way or very fast leaning that way, and these muscles are starting to hurt a little bit. And it's the fastest circuit in the UK, which says something. If it's constantly a bend and the fastest circuit, well, you're constantly going very fast round a bend. And something I like about this circuit is that even though it's a quick circuit, you don't need a powerful car to be fast, because there's not many places where power truly helps you out. There's one place uphill after church, but most of it, well, it's a bit of a bend. So it's not about how powerful your car is, it's about how fast you dare continue around that bend. Anyway, here's a couple of laps. It's damp, unfortunately, so I'm a bit careful of how much grip I've got, because it's only just started raining, so I'm not exactly sure what it's going to be like. So I'm being a bit careful at the moment. Looks like the rain's only going to get worse. I'm going to do the laps now, it's not going to dry up. So here I'm just trying to stay left as much as I can, go as fast as I can, and then get it straight for the braking here. So brake hard and straight line, down into third, and really try to keep it as right as I can here. Bit of understeer, come on, get round. Now if I go to the right, that allows me to stay left on this next one. If I stay left on this one, I can get straight here and pretty much flat out. I didn't dare, I lifted a bit through here. I'll put the names on screen. A dab of brake here, not much, and use all the circuit in front of you here. Where the skid marks go off into the grass, that's where you want to go, but not into the grass, just near that. And now brake in a straight line, get the speed down. I think this is called Goodwood, I'm not sure. And then ease the power on and use all of the width of the circuit. Full throttle now. It is wet out there, so I am a bit nervous. There's a fast Porsche coming up behind. I'm at 7,000 revs. I'm not going to go to fifth. I'm just going to dab the brake down into church. Very fast corner. Use all of the exit width into the exit apex, and now up the hill. This is where having a powerful car will help you now to get up this hill. I'm going to move over to the right, let this Porsche pass. Just lift a bit, brake a bit. Let's help them pass here, and now get it straight. I go down into third for this one. Second will give me more power on the exit, but I won't be able to use it really, because I have to change gear, and in having to change gear, I'm not actually going to make the most of it. And yeah, cutting those apexes does help you go through there. Not the first one is high. I'll do another lap now. Dab a brake into this first corner, into the inside. Gradually let it run out. Ooh, it feels a bit slippery there, just lifted off the gas a bit. So I didn't want to slide towards that grass, keeping it left as fast as I can, feeling the tyres sort of giving up a little bit, braking in a straight line, down into third, slow enough so that you can keep the nose in. You don't want to run wide there, as it messes up the whole of the rest of the next two corners and the exit, which is really important. Really left here so I can cut this corner and full throttle. I am full throttle. Oh yes, into fourth. Use all the exit width there so you can go full throttle. If you're a racing driver, you won't brake here, but I will a bit, not much. And then use the width just here to go to the outside, and then brake for this bend. If you go that fast with this bend, you won't be going around it with these tyres in these conditions. I can feel it's getting a bit more slippery now. Full throttle. Just let the car run wide. 6,000 revs. 7,000 revs, off the gas, dab a brake, into church, very scary corner. Oh, I didn't hit the apex that time, just missed it. Apex on the way out, there we go. Whoa. And then up to fifth gear soon. It's 110 miles an hour. 120, braking in a straight line, down into fourth. Nearly said third, now third, they're in the third now. Maybe I'm shouting a bit too much. Oh, what happened there? Has he dropped oil? Or has he just skid off the circuit? I hope he hasn't dropped oil. Tell you what, I'll give another lap. There we go. Up to fourth now. Little dab of brake here. Tuck it in. Get really close to the inside. Look towards the outside. Look where the orange thing is over there. Just let it run wide. Could have done that faster. Had some left on the table there. Probably I was going a bit slow because I had to slow down with that car pulled over earlier. And in a straight line brake, keeping it a little bit to the left, but kind of in the centre. Tuck the nose in, feel the tyres. Whoa, yep, nearly. You couldn't probably see it on camera, the back end came around a little bit there. Didn't need to opposite lock, just lifted the gas a bit. And then full throttle for the exit, that was not good. Kind of disturbed myself there, so I couldn't do full throttle on the apex at the end. And I'm being careful here, I'm not sure this car's going to do. But anyway, yeah, this is Thruxton. There's an airfield in the middle, so you can sometimes see the aeroplanes taking off. I am starting to go a bit slower now because I can feel the car start to slide, and I don't want to take any chances. There used to be a big gravel trap down here, I'm pretty sure, but now it's just grass. And yeah, growing into the grass is not going to stop you very quickly. There's a barrier there, so just be a bit more careful for a church. And see if I can get the apex. Fastest corner probably in the... Whoa, jeepers, creepers. Oh, hey, hey. Yep, I did slide a little bit there. The car just skipped. And I was sort of hanging on there going towards the apex. And in a straight line, braking hard. And I think now I probably should do a cool down lap. And come in because the road is getting more slippery. And I don't think I'm adjusting myself enough for it. And I don't want to have a crash. A couple of little slides like that, especially over 90 miles an hour through church, probably means I should just cool it down, let the rain happen, and come out when it's properly wet and readjust. You might not be able to see the slide on camera. I know when I film these and watch them back, you can't see it. you can definitely feel it. And I don't mind sliding at 40-50 miles an hour, but I do not like sliding at 90 miles an hour. That's not my favourite thing. I don't have the confidence to do it yet. It wasn't a proper power slide, but it was, the tyres were skipping along or sliding along the road there. Anyway, that's Thruxton. Thruxton isn't really recommended for beginners because you're going at a high speed quite often. So if you do get it wrong here, there's more of a chance you're going to get it wrong at a high speed, and therefore the impact is going to be harder. There's plenty of parts of the circuit where you are under lateral G at very high speeds. So I don't recommend coming here for your first track day. I'm driving a 2020 Mazda MX5 ND2 2 litre with 184 PS of power. Now this track day is its 17th, and after today I would have covered around about 2,300 miles on track in this, and it's had no mechanical issues apart from some bolts on the power plant frame which connects the diff to the gearbox that needed tightening, but that was free of charge. So far I've done 140 miles today, but it looks like I'm probably going to do about 200 miles given how many miles I'm doing, how much time I've got left, and it's done 20.4 miles per gallon, which is more than usual actually. And that brings me on to something about this circuit. It doesn't seem to be very hard on the car. Now this is only the second time I've been here. When I was here last time it was a hot day in summer and it was a bit hard on tyres, but at the moment in this weather I don't think it's going to be hard on tyres, which is just as well because next week I'm driving this to Spain and I don't have time to replace them. But I'm not using as much fuel as usual because I'm not able to use full throttle very often, because quite often I'm on a bend. And that's what I was saying earlier, by having a powerful car doesn't really help you much here. Even in this low powered 180 brake horsepower car, relatively low powered compared to some other cars you see on track, I'm not able to use full throttle quite often, and as a result I'm getting better fuel economy. On a wet day it's not going to be hard on tyres, although on a dry day it will be, and it's not hard on brakes because there's only really two places where you brake very hard, and that's into both the double bends. I can't remember what they're called, I'll put it on screen. So it's actually a lower cost day than many other track days, although of course track days are still very expensive. I'll work out how much this one costs me when I take the brakes off, but I'll edit this video after I've done that, so I'll put it on screen now. So I'll measure the brakes, measure the tyres, I know how much fuel I've used, I know how much the day was, and that's how much the day has cost me. And I'm guessing it's going to be less than usual. I'm guessing it's going to be less than £400. Usually track days cost me between £400 and £600. But Thruxton is only usually about £160 to enter, which is cheap for a track day in the summer months or the spring months. It's not summer yet, but it is spring, April, so quite far from summer, but by April that's when prices start going up for track days because you have more light. The lack of light in the winter also reduces the price of track days, I believe, because your days are shorter. Anyway, if you found this video interesting, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to get my future videos, and until the next one, cheerio. What the hell was that? This is what I meant to do. Just go a bit slower and have a bit of fun. Woo! Impressed with that traction control system though. Most cars I've taken on track haven't had it, so I haven't had the luxury of really testing it. I'm always a bit worried it might do something or intervene when I don't want it to, and it might upset what I'm trying to do. It's like two people trying to drive, but it actually works pretty well.